Okay, frequency tables and averages. The first thing we're looking at here is a frequency table, and we're asked to write down the mode. The mode is the most common of our results. Now we're interested in the number of children, so these are our results, and the number of families is essentially in this question the frequency of what we're dealing with. So there are 4 families with no children, 6 families with 1 child, and so on. So these numbers are the frequency, and the numbers at the top, they're the things we're actually interested in. And in a question like this where they don't call the frequency, we've got to pay very close attention to that before we continue. Now the mode is the one with the highest frequency. The highest frequency over here is 9, which is pointing at our mode, which is 4. So the highest frequency value is 4 children. There are more families with 4 children than any other. Now the median from a frequency table is kind of tricky to get at. We've got 30 families in this survey. So imagine splitting those 30 families into 2 teams of 15. We've got 30 people altogether. We make 2 teams of 15 each. The median is what's right in the middle over here. So it's halfway between the 15th and the 16th value. Now imagine this table written out as a list. There will be 4 zeros followed by 6 ones, followed by 6 twos, and so on. So I'm interested in what's at the 15th and what's at the 16th position. Well, there are 4 zeros followed by 6 ones. So that's 10 numbers in my list. The next 6 numbers in the list are all 2s. So both the 15th and the 16th values are both 2s. The 17th value would be a 3. So that's what my list is looking like. The median is then whatever's in between 2 and 2, which of course is just 2. So medians in frequency tables are kind of tricky. We've got to be very careful. Now to calculate the mean, we're going to use the MAD method. Multiply, add, divide. So I'm going to multiply my x's and my frequencies, add all those results together, and then I'm going to divide by my total frequency. And my total frequency is 30. That's the number of families we're asking. So I've got to do 0 times 4, which is 4. 1 times 6 is 6, 2 times 6 is 12, 3 times 2 is 6, 9 times 4 is 36, and 5 times 3 is 15. Adding all this together on the calculator, so I've got 4 plus 6 plus 12 plus 6 plus 36 plus 15, that's 79 altogether. 4 plus 6 plus 12 plus 6 plus 36 plus 15, that makes 79 altogether. That's the multiply, and the add I now divide by my total frequency, which is 30, to get my final answer. So dividing by 30 gets me 2.63 to 2 decimal places, and that's my mean. Multiply these things together, add it all up, divide by the total frequency. Okay, let's look at the next question. Pablo records the time correct to the nearest minute each student in his class spent on their homework, and here's a list of results. I want to find the range of these results. Range is the largest result minus the smallest result. So I can see over here an 8 in this frequency table, and I think that's the smallest result. If you look around, you won't see a number smaller than 8. The largest number in this frequency table, well, I can see a 56 over here. Oh, no, there's a 58, that's better. Anything bigger than 58? I don't believe so. So I'm going to do 58 minus 8. The largest value minus the smallest value. My range is 50. Okay, so that's just a simple process of looking through for those numbers. Now to make the frequency table, we're simply categorizing all of these numbers. Not a very exciting job. I'm going to do it as quickly as I possibly can. So 30 goes in the 30 to 39 column over here. 42, oh hang on, that jumped around. There we go. 42 goes in here, 56 goes in here, 12, 15, 10, 58, 58, 24, 34, 34 is going to go in here, 41, 11, 36, 18, and that's the first row. Second row, 9 goes in the first column, 21, 48, 35, 42, 27, 44, 52, 15, 56, 19, 22, 54, 41, and 30. So that's a 2, a 7, a 4, 5, 6, and 6. Do double check when you're finished with this job that your results add up to 30. So I've got 9 plus 4 is 13, 13 plus 5 is 18, plus 2 6s does make 30. So if you've miscounted anything, then that'll show up there. The modal class interval, these are my classes over here, and the modal class interval is going to be the one with the highest frequency. So the one with the highest frequency is 7, my modal class interval is 10 to 19. Here are the ages of people who are ambidextrous, and I want to find their median. The first thing to do is to put them in order from smallest to largest. So 16 is the smallest. The next one on my list looks like it's going to be 27, followed by 31, followed by 42, 45, 52, 60, and 79. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people on this list. So we're going to divide them into 2 teams of 4. The median would be whatever is splitting up those 2 teams. So I have to think about what's halfway between 42 and 45. This is going to be 43.5, 43.5. There are 3 units over here. I have to go halfway, so I have to go 1.5 units, and that's where we get 43.5. So here we have yet another question where we're completing a frequency table. I'm going to do this in between videos because you don't need to sit here watching me do it myself. So in fact what I'll do is I'll pause this video, complete the frequency table, and then come straight back. So watch this space. Okay, so I've done all my tallying up and my frequencies are 4, 5, 6, 3 and 2. And I've checked these numbers add up to 20. 9 plus 6 is 15, plus 3 plus 2 takes us to 20. The modal group is the one with the highest frequency. Here is the highest frequency, so here's the modal group, 100 to 109. Here are the scores in a written test. I want to find the median and the mean. So the first job is to put them in order, and I'm going to do that now. Okay, so now my scores are in order. To find the median, I want to split them into 2 teams. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people here. Now 11 people are going to be 2 teams of 5 and an odd one out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's my first team over here. There's my odd one out, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over there. So thinking about splitting your group into 2 teams is a great way to go after the median. The median is whatever is in the middle of those 2 teams, and in this case it's an actual number, 29. Now to find the mean, I'm going to add all these results together and divide by 11. So I've got to do 8 plus 14 plus 17 all the way along that list, and then divide by 11. I'm going to do that now. So adding all those numbers up got me 302. 302 divided by 11 gets me my mean. Remember, I'm dividing by 11 because there are 11 numbers in the list. And that's coming out as 27.5 if I round to 1 decimal place. Let's move on. The final question gives me a frequency table with a number of people in 50 different households. So for instance, there are 12 households with 3 people living in them. To work out the mean number of people in each household, I'm going to use the MAD method. Multiply, add, divide. Multiply these numbers together, add it all up, and then at the end I'm going to divide. I'm going to divide by the total frequency, and in the question they've told me that's 50. So all of my multiplications over here is 1 times 5 for 5, 2 times 8 is 16, 3 times 12, 36, 4 times 14 is going to give me 56, 5 times 7, 35, 6 times 4, 24. I now have to add all that up. And that's coming out as 172. So I've multiplied all those results together, I've added up all my multiplications, and now I have to divide. 172 divided by the total frequency, which is 50, and that will get me my mean. Now these questions are typically worth about 4 marks, so they're quite rich in marks. And if you know about this method, multiply, add, divide, you'll get those marks every time. So this is really a great one to make sure you've got the hang of. And that wraps up all the solutions for the frequency tables and averages worksheet.